You can manifest anything you want, including very large, big, audacious goals. Absolutely. It's all a matter of capturing the feeling of it. Now, you may have felt that you're only able to manifest small things, all these little things you're able to do. The simple reason of why that's the case for you is because you don't reasonably expect big things to happen. And expectation is the third step to successfully capturing the feeling and living in the assumption that what you want has already happened. Let me explain these 3 steps. The first step is desire. You have to want it. And that's really fairly simple, right? Desiring something, we all have desires, we all have goals. But you need to know what it is. What is your desire? Okay, you got to be able to put your finger on it. I recommend taking your time discovering what it is that I want exactly. What do I desire? Step 1. And then step 2, you need to believe that it's possible for you. Step 1, desire. Step 2, belief. Now, it's totally possible to have those first 2 steps done and still not manifest that desire. And that's because there's a third step, which is expectation. This is a very nuanced feeling. Do you expect this to happen? Is it in your expectation? And typically, when you're manifesting smaller things, these are within your realm of expectation. It's just a little bit outside of what you normally experience. And because of that, you can reasonably expect it to happen. But when you pick an audacious goal like traveling around the world 3 times before your next birthday, it's like that's never happened to you before. So it's way outside your realm of expectation. It seems unreasonable for you. And for that reason, you can't surrender to the feeling that it's already done. Now, it doesn't mean it's impossible. If you can get yourself in that feeling and remain there, well, then you'll manifest that just as easily as any smaller thing because the process is exactly the same. So what I want you to do over the next 2 weeks, I want you to pick something that is a little bit outside of what you normally can expect. Take, for example, money. If you normally make $10,000 a month, for the next 2 weeks, I want you to focus on manifesting $15,000 a month. Now, it's not totally out of reach. It's not something that's totally unreasonable. But if you can consistently manifest something that's outside of your reach and do it over and over and over again, you will do something that I call stacking the coincidences. The fastest way that you can begin to expect the unreasonable things to happen is to know that everything that you manifest is not a coincidence. Whenever you manifest something, it happens so naturally that you would begin to think that it would have happened anyway. You would think it was just a coincidence that it happened. And this is especially true when you manifest small things over and over and over again. You tend to think it was just a coincidence. But if you manifest the same thing over and over and over again, it no longer feels like a coincidence. In Jose Silva's book, Mind Control, he gave the example of a taxi driver who manifested the same thing over and over and over again. He was using Jose Silva's technique, and he would visualize seeing a man with luggage going to JFK Airport, right? This was a New York City yellow cab driver. And the first couple of times he tried to manifest this using his imagination, it really didn't work. But then he saw the man who had luggage going to the JFK Airport. So he did something that was very powerful. He didn't stop trying to manifest that same thing because that was a great trip. So he decided to do it again. And the second time, it took a couple of times, but then boom, he saw another man with luggage going to JFK. And he kept doing it. And he got to a point where he was able to consistently manifest that one thing. Now, the first couple of times, it seems like a coincidence. It's like, it was just luck. This would have happened anyway. And when you do it the second time, it still feels like a coincidence. But when you do it the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh time, at that point, you can't logically believe that it was just a coincidence. And this allows you to focus on even more unrealistic things because now you're giving credit to the unseen reality within, which would make it so much more easier to capture the feeling of something even bigger. I challenge you to think big. Think big. Everything that you need to create the life you want is already inside of you. My name is Evan Yearwood, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.